Donald Trump, the former real estate tycoon and former U.S. president, his business empire, once a symbol of power and wealth, is now in jeopardy. His efforts to secure a bond to cover a $454 million judgment in a New York civil fraud case has been rejected by 30 insurance companies. Watch our next report to know how the stakes are rising as the clock is ticking.
Donald Trump is hurtling towards a critical deadline in his most costly legal battle to date. The Republican presidential candidate is struggling to raise the cash for his bond. His lawyers say that it is practically impossible.
Trump has gone to more than 30 underwriters, more than 30 companies who have the money, who could put it up for him, and they have refused to do it.
Trump, who was found liable in February of inflating his property values to dupe lenders and insurers, must post a bond or pay out of his own pockets. If not, the state's attorney general could begin seeking to seize his properties. Trump may have to part with some of his prized assets. Trump Towers, the iconic Manhattan skyscraper, could be on the chopping block. A fire sale looms, and the real estate mogul faces the grim prospect of relinquishing his signature properties. Trump has denied wrongdoing in the criminal and civil cases he faces.
And this is a rigged trial. This was a rigged trial by a crooked judge and a crooked attorney general. And we're fighting it out with them. We have a lot of cash and we have a great company, but they want to take it away, or at least take the cash element away. Billions of dollars in value, billions of dollars in properties. But they'd like to take the cash away so I can't use it on the campaign. And this is just a corrupt group of people.
As Monday approaches, Trump's fate hangs in the balance. Will he find a way to secure the bond or face the consequences? Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
For more, we are being joined by Adel Nazarian from Washington, D.C. Adel is a senior fellow at the Gold Institute for International Strategy. Adel, welcome back to WION and great to see you. The question many are asking, and his supporters are worried, is how successful will Donald Trump's plea to his followers be to donate more money to preserve his assets? Or basically, is he going to be able to provide these necessary funds to avoid seizure by the state of New York?
You know, Suzanne, great to be on with you again. $464 million is no joke. Of course, he's going to have to take an approach of reaching out to his donors, his base, but also I happen to think he's going to succeed in doing this. Not necessarily from his base, but I think he's going to have a few silent people in the background. You know, the majority of the world's billionaires don't like to be out there. They don't like to have their names out there in the public eye. But I guarantee you, he knows many of them, and many of them do support him. And I have to say, in terms of the American ones, at least. And I believe that he will be able to secure enough to get himself out of the situation he's in. I think that everyone knows how politics works in not only America, but around the world. And what it'll end up resulting in is favors should he win office again. And don't get me wrong, the same thing has happened in the Biden administration. It's happened in the Trump, in the Bush administration, and the Clinton administration. It's a little known, maybe to the public, facet of how politics works in general. But I'm pretty certain that he'll be able to secure the funds that he needs to save Trump Towers from having to be confiscated.
Yeah, it's crazy. One has to wonder whether this was Letitia James's plan all along. We're hearing that donors that supported Nikki Haley, Trump's rival, may switch allegiance and support Joe Biden instead of former President Donald Trump. That's a lot of money. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, it's amazing. I'm sure you know, a few days after Nikki Haley withdrew from the Republican primary on March 6th, it was Harry Sloan, I think, a media executive who a supporter of Haley's who received a call from Jeffrey Katzenberg, who asked Sloan to assist in President Joe Biden's reelection campaign against Trump. And you're right. Since her campaign has ended, at least I believe half a dozen of her former financial supporters have decided to back Biden. And of course, we have Barbara Comstock, a former, Republican elected official, who is vehemently and diametrically opposed to Trump. And so they've raised through their PAC, the Republican Accountability PAC, I think more than, I don't know, close to or more than $50 million so far. So I think that those who are, Nikki Haley donors who have switched sides to Biden, I think that they will definitely also make it a rough ride ahead. I don't see that going away. You have the Lincoln Project, you have, I'll also point attention to A Brigade, which is working similar to the Lincoln Project for the Republican Party and just conservative values generally. So it's going to be a very heated and ugly 2024 election cycle, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, indeed. And as you mentioned, you have those super PACs as well, not just these big name donors that are planning on donating to Joe Biden. Unbelievable. We'll be watching very closely. And Adele, of course, I'll speak to you about all of it very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.